So the first question is as follows. Assalamu alaikum, dear Sheikh.
Alaykum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Jazakumullah khairan for your invaluable teachings.
Thank you very much.
In the discussion on followership, you addressed the issue of khulus, sincerity. First, can you expand on the definition of khulus, sincerity? Second, what should be the mindset in seeking to purify our sincerity? Finally, how do we find balance between self-interest and selfish interest? Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I think in that series that we had in Stanmore, in Hojjat Academy, we expanded on each of these conditions like sincerity. And also recently in Islamic Plan for Life, we had a session on sincerity. So maybe the main thing is the last part. What is the difference between selfishness and self-interest? If we want to be sincere, should we ignore our interest, or we should just try not to be selfish? Your real interests are not to be compromised or ignored, and actually whoever is doing something good for others certainly is doing good for himself and herself. إن أحسنتم أحسنتم لأنفسكم وإن أسأتم فلا. If you do good, it's for yourself. If you do bad, it's also bad to yourself. So in Islam, we don't need to be either selfish or, for example, ignore our interests. No, you can be totally taking care of your real interests and at the same time be very charitable, very kind, even sometimes sacrifice, because what you sacrifice is short-term interests or your comfort for the sake of long-term or more fundamental interests. And this is amazing that how there is harmony by being sincere. I gain more. By being selfish, I lose. By being someone who is showing off, who is not sincere, I'm losing. So thank you very much for this beautiful question. And the brief answer is that sincerity is one of the key signs of true followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam and the prophets and messengers in general. And it means that your reason for doing things is to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and for improving your connection and your position with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is your reason for doing things. You are not showing off, you are not deceiving anyone, you are honest, you are truthful, and you are not sacrificing your long-term interest or interests of other people so that you can quickly get something. You are not selfish. You know that human beings have such potential that if they consider their long-term and their fundamental interest, they can be helping and reaching out to other people as well. This is a brief answer to this good question.
Thanks again, Sheikh Al-Kareem.
You're welcome.
And another question, and the last question for today. In one of your speeches, you mentioned the relation between extremism and the lack of education.
Mm-hmm.
When people hear this, they have objections and give examples of people who are recognized as educated by people, by the society, and yet they are extremists. Could you please elaborate on what you mean by education or lack of it?
Many times, extremists don't have proper education. They are very shallow in their knowledge about their own religion, because it's not only Islam. They can be a Hindu who is extremist, they can be a Buddhist, they can be a communist who is extremist, they can be a secular who is extremist. So people who are extremists normally they don't have deep knowledge, they don't have that much experience, they are not well formed and informed. You may say that, but we have also scholars who are extremists, for example, which is very rare. But yes, we have scholars who are not balanced and sometimes, become radical, yes. But it's very rare that great scholars, especially those who have lots of practical experiences and diversity of knowledge and disciplines, it's rare that become extremists, but it's possible. Because sometimes mentality of people is unfortunately not balanced, and this is why I always believe that extremism is a human problem. It's not a problem of certain religions or certain sects, although maybe some religious understanding can help, but it's more personality of people. Some people have great potential for becoming extremist, and the same person, if was maybe belonging to another faith, could have again become extremist. Lack of balance, lack of proper, experiences of being loved and supported and being successful can make you extremist. But for sure it is something that doesn't have only one reason. And when I said that extremists don't have proper education, I didn't mean that this is the only reason, but this is a common reason. And if you look at most of extremists, you find them, they are more people who are not well educated in their own tradition.
Thank you very much, Sheikh.
You're welcome.
We have, inshallah, we'll move to the greetings. I
Yes.
will begin with